A very long non-conducting cylinder with a radius r is charged in volume with a charge density ρ, where ρ0 is a positive constant with units of coulomb per cubic meter, and the volume charge density varies with the radial distance from the axis of the cylinder. Calculate the electric field at any point in space, both inside and outside the cylinder. So if we take a section from the cylinder, we can visualize the symmetry of the problem, where the electric field points radially outwards, so it looks something like this. So due to the symmetry of the electric field about the axis of the cylinder, we can apply Gauss's law. So in part A, we'll find the electric field inside the cylinder. So we take a Gaussian surface inside the cylinder. So this Gaussian surface will be cylindrical to account for the symmetry of the electric field, and it has a length L and a radius r. So if we take the section of this surface as having a radius r and apply Gauss's law, so recall Gauss's law was the integral of the dot product between the electric field and the normal to the surface over the area of the surface was equal to the enclosed charge on the permittivity of free space. So on the left hand side we have the flux of the electric field through the surface. So due to the symmetry of the problem, the electric field is always normal to the surface, so this integral can be simplified as the electric field by the area of the surface, which is 2 pi by the radius by the length of the cylinder, and that's equal to 1 over epsilon naught by the volume integral of our charge density, which varies over the radius of the cylinder over the volume of the cylinder. So given that r is the only variable, we can take a thin cylindrical shell, and this shell has a radius r prime and an infinitesimal thickness being dr prime. So therefore we can simplify our integral considerably, so that's equal to 1 over epsilon naught by the integral of the volume charge density being rho naught by r prime squared on the radius of the cylinder squared, and our differential volume element is 2 pi r prime by the length of our cylindrical shell by the thickness of the shell. And we integrate this from r prime equals 0 to r prime equals r. So taking the constants outside the integral, we have 2 pi rho naught L on r squared by epsilon naught, and the integral of r prime cubed from r equals 0 to r evaluates to r to the 4 on 4. And that's equal to the flux of the electric field through our Gaussian surface. So dividing through by 2 pi and dividing through by L and also dividing through by r, we get the electric field is rho naught on 4r squared epsilon naught by r cubed, and this electric field acts in a radial direction. So that's our electric field, where r is less than the radius of the cylinder. And in part B, we want the electric field outside the cylinder, so we take the Gaussian surface outside the cylinder. So again, it's going to be a cylindrical surface, having some length L, so our integral doesn't change, but the limits of integration will be from r prime equals 0 to r prime equals the radius of the cylinder. So the charge enclosed in that surface is going to be the charge enclosed by that part of the cylinder. So what we get is the radius of the cylinder to the power of 4, and the electric field is rho naught r squared on 4 epsilon naught by the reciprocal of r, and our electric field acts in a radial direction. So that's our electric field, where r is larger than the radius of the cylinder. So the electric field is piecewise continuous, because if you substitute for r is equal to the radius of the cylinder, then we get the electric field at r equals r to be rho naught by r on 4 epsilon naught, and pointing in a radial direction.